Previously on the Sichuan Tang clan, the Amei sect leader and her disciples infiltrated the Tang clan disguised as patients to investigate rumors of a divine healer. After witnessing young clan head Tang Sichuan perform a miraculous nerve reconnection surgery, they were exposed. Sichuan declared that their intrusion would cost them their lives. Now to the next chapter. The members of the Amei sect just stand there looking forward confused. But just then the protagonist's weapon starts to vibrate suddenly and it is being called back to him at incredible speed. It goes past the Amei sect members as they all look back wondering what is going on. But in that moment the protagonist catches his weapon. He now has both weapons in his hands ready for war. Ha Young stares in absolute disbelief, her eyes wide with shock and recognition. She recognizes the technique immediately. It is the Phantom Grasp technique, a legendary method of combat. Her mind races frantically, struggling to understand how a mere first-rate martial artist could execute a move that only masters of the evolutionary realm are supposed to possess. She questions internally how on earth a first-rate fighter accomplished such an impossible feat. Abbess Manhwa, realizing the situation is getting out of control, tries to intervene and stop things from escalating. She calls out to the young clan head to calm down and listen. But Chong Yun, fueled by anger and shock, does not wait for peace. Screaming with fury, she lunges forward with her weapon drawn and shouts, asking how he dares to attack them. Chong Yun dashes forward as the protagonist goes into action and moves to meet her. He comments that since she is taking the fight, it means their intentions are not friendly. As they get closer, Chong Yun thinks that she will use a rampant tempered sword art to knock the protagonist to the ground as her sword starts to glow. But something catches the protagonist's eyes as Chong Yun has been attacked from behind. It is their sect leader. She has been knocked out by her own leader, who suddenly grabbed her and throws her to the side, protecting her from the protagonist's attack as it is coming in. He strikes sufficiently with his weapon as their leader comments that it is too late to dodge. Their collision creates a massive light, forcing each other back as Ha Young catches Chong Yun, but she is worried for her master as she calls out. But not wasting time, he goes on the attack again and she does the same. They trade blows over and over again, neither one willing to give up. Their leader can only think about how she has used her strength, and yet the protagonist does not show any sign of backing down. She understands that the protagonist is no ordinary martial artist. As she watches him jump into the air, she can only think about what her master said and how it is not only the protagonist's medical techniques that they needed to observe. The protagonist throws one of his daggers and it moves at incredible speed, but their leader dodges it and understands that the protagonist is going to attack her. The dagger forced her to move to the right, which means that the protagonist will attack her from the right side. As the protagonist closes in, she understands that she was right and she just has to watch out for the incoming attack. But something catches her eyes. The protagonist is smiling and she is not sure why. But just then Ha Young screams out for her master to watch out. The leader looks to the left and can see that the dagger he threw before is also attacking from that side while the protagonist is striking from her right. The protagonist thinks that he has got this person and goes in for the ending blow. But just then the leader, not wanting to lose but understanding they have no choice now, parries the incoming attack by redirecting it. She lifts his attacking arm upwards, which throws the protagonist into the air as she strikes the attack from her left. In the next moment she charges her attack aiming for the protagonist, and that strike connects and hits the protagonist with incredible force as he screams out in pain. He is sent flying back at incredible speed and smashes into the wall. Chong Yun is now awake and complains about her head being sore, while Ha Young questions if she is alright. Chong Yun does not know what is going on as she can see the protagonist and her leader engaged in battle. Yeah, what did you think was going to happen? You attacked without thinking. You created the situation because you didn't think. But just then their leader realizes she has done something horribly wrong. She looks over and sees the protagonist. He is definitely hurt and she can see that he is not willing to give up. But she knows she went all out without realizing it, which is now a problem because this is something that should never have happened. But just then the protagonist pulls back his weapon with his thread and the leader watching it realizes it is a thread. She now understands that she underestimated the protagonist due to his age and understands that the skill he used is the Phantom Grasp technique and wants to know how he is using it so well. The protagonist catches his weapon again and gets into a fighting stance, worn out and in a lot of pain from that damage. He tells the intruders that he is ready. Their leader is amazed and can only think about how she has never met or heard of a martial artist that uses threads and wonders if he reached that level by himself. But just then more people burst into the room. A man gives the order to the martial artists of the Tang clan and swings his arm out as he orders all of them to suppress the enemies. Many martial artists dash forward and have now surrounded the intruders. Their leader can only call out to the Tang clan head. The protagonist, seeing his father, understands that help has finally arrived and drops to the ground as his sister dashes over to him along with one other member. Seeing this, Ha Young walks over quickly and questions if he is alright, but the sister screams for her to step back. Ha Young is genuinely worried and comments that she only wishes to help, but the sister has heard enough. Her killing intent is now locked onto Ha Young, and she says, "Do not make me repeat myself." Time has passed and they are now back at the main hall. Some of the Tang clan members are present while the Amei sect stands in front ready to give an explanation. The room is very tense. Their leader calls out to the Tang head and pleads her case, commenting that they both came from the same generation and have known each other for a very long time, and explains that it is all a misunderstanding. The Tang leader is not impressed and questions how it is a misunderstanding. He starts to state facts. 1. They hid their identities and entered into the Tang clan's land. Hearing this, Chong Yun can feel the pressure of his words and knows why they are in this situation. The Tang leader goes on to the next fact. 2. The fact that they lined up pretending to be patients because they found it suspicious that the Tang clan could also have great healers. But the Amei sect leader says that they were just curious and it was not like that. But the clan head has heard enough. He smacks the table with his fist, stating that it makes no sense. He is angry and goes on to the next fact, which is that their leader dealt a heavy blow to his son, which has now caused him to have internal injuries. As the other members listen, the Tang leader has come to his conclusion and states that he is very suspicious of their intentions coming to his place and questions if they are here to finish the task that the escort agency guard leader could not finish. The Amei sect leader is now worried and does her best, commenting that they would never do such a thing and how could he say that, while Chong Yun is feeling the weight of her decisions. She looks down and understands that it is all her fault. The situation is what it is now and she regrets attacking because if she had not done it, they would not be in this mess. Okay, well, I guess you are not a complete idiot, you have the ability to learn. Ha Young can only think about the protagonist. She hopes that he is not seriously injured. All I can say is it is going to be an interesting return for them. The Grand Master warned them not to cause trouble. Suddenly somebody enters the room. All three of them look back to see who it is and a person walks forward past them. They are shocked to see this person. It is the protagonist. He comes in to pay his respect to the clan leader. He speaks up and apologizes for causing unnecessary problems. But his father just jumps up. He is more concerned about his health and questions if the protagonist is feeling better. The protagonist comes forward steady and says he was able to recover after a little bit of rest and makes an excuse that he has built up a lot of fatigue after looking at so many patients lately. But his father is now confused and questions that he is fatigued and it is not internal injuries from the attack earlier. And the protagonist looks at them and wonders what he means about internal damage. Ha Young hears this and remembers how her master used her divine arts and internal energy to attack him, which should have left his body damaged. She questions if he has known internal injuries. The protagonist comments that there has been a misunderstanding. He greets and pays respect to the Amei sect leader and apologizes for putting her in a tough position. He remembers how the divine healer, which is her master, was going to send him someone so he could learn, and comments that he did not expect the Amei sect leader to come in person. He comments that he did not recognize her and attacked her unnecessarily and apologizes for not being able to recognize her. But the Amei sect leader is about to say something, but the protagonist uses the whispering technique and firmly looks at her and tells her not to say another word and just wait. The other council members of the Tang clan talk amongst themselves. One questions if it really was a misunderstanding and another comments that it must be a misunderstanding because if it was not, the young master would not be standing in front of them right now. And another wonders if he has been chosen by the divine healer. Just then his father uses the whispering technique and questions if what he is doing is to protect their clan. He tells him not to worry and looks at him with concern and states that he knows his son is suppressing the pain from the earlier attack. But the protagonist just comments that he is just acting injured. His father wonders why he is acting like that, but the protagonist just asks his father if he could just go along with his plans this time. His father just looks at him, understanding that there is something going on and wants to know what he has got planned. But his son tells him not to worry, as we now see his cunning face, and states that he has an idea to solve the problems for both groups. But of course there is a catch. A very expensive one.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.